Flowing ad budget on metrics that look great till the CFO sees them. That's bull spend. And marketers are calling it out in Dashboard Confessions.
I remember telling my boss, it'll be good for the brand, when leads were slow. Yeah, it wasn't.
Cut the bull spend. LinkedIn lets you target by company, job title, and more. Advertise on LinkedIn. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a $250 credit. Go to linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
This episode is brought to you by Fox One. Watch all 104 matches of the FIFA World Cup live in 4K for just $19.99 a month with 3 days free. Build your own multi-view, choose up to 3 streams, and follow player spotlights. Stay on top of every moment with live stats, highlights, and instant replays. The FIFA World Cup, streaming live on Fox One. Offers are subject to change. See fox.com for complete terms and conditions.
I remember one of my first times there when I met a bunch of the players. I came down the elevator and I didn't really know the process of how the team exited the lobby or if they went through a side door. And I just took the elevator down and then the elevator stopped and in walked Virgil van Dijk, Cody Gakpo, Xavi Simons, and Memphis Depay as I'm standing there in my orange suit. So Memphis was, he's like, nice suit, man. We took a picture, but I was so starstruck and startled that I forgot to take a picture with the other 4.
Started as a kid with a team to believe in. Every win and loss left my heart still beating. Year after year through the rain and the sun, learning that faith is what makes us strong.
The kick is up, and the kick is good afternoon, and welcome back to the Superfan Diaries. I'm your host, J.R. Green, recording from our studios on Broadway in downtown Nash, Vegas, bringing you the biggest sports, the biggest moments, and the biggest fans, celebrating passionate sports figures and their unique stories. Yes, legends. Be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share your own game day traditions or stories online. Today, the World Cup has come to us. I'm J.R. Green, and it's time to talk some World Cup soccer, plus something very orange. And it's not. Let's get this straight. It's not UT, Oklahoma State, or Texas Orange. I've been waiting a long time for this episode because today's guest and I have something very important in common. We both understood long before most people did that if you're going to show up for your team, you might as well show up in a classy orange outfit. Now I wear mine to celebrate the biggest moments. This man wears his to every single game. Born in Leiden, Netherlands, moved to Canada at the age of 6, now based in Scottsdale, Arizona, where he works as a commercial pilot, a job that, not coincidentally, makes it a lot easier to follow your team across the globe. Since November of 2015, he has not missed a single Dutch national team match. That's right, close to 100 games every corner of the world. He went viral at the Qatar World Cup in 2022, and every camera and every stadium found him first. He describes the World Cup as making the NFL Super Bowl look like, and I'm quoting directly here, your local beach volleyball event. He marches alongside a bright orange double-decker bus with thousands of Dutch fans singing and dancing behind him. The Oranje are coming. And right now, the World Cup is on American soil, and he is here. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Oranje Suit Man, Daniel Oordt. Daniel, welcome to the show.
Thank you, JR. Thanks for having me.
Well, listen, before we do anything else, I'm proudly wearing my orange Magic Tux today in your honor. That's right. I don't normally pull this out, but for you, I had to bring it out. And you can tell there's a different slight shade, this is Tennessee orange. You've got Netherlands orange, so there's a little bit difference. But hey, let's talk about this huge People magazine article that just posted today.
Let's do it. Game recognizes game. I like your outfit. I feel like I've got the home edition. You've got the away edition. I think we could team up and maybe when I need a break, I'll send you in there for me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We've got the Challenger 1970 car. You've got the double-decker bus.
I love it. I love it. It's been a crazy time, as it always is, leading up to any major tournament. Of course, this whole media craze has been going on for about 2 months now before the World Cup coming up. And the way it works in this world, one article leads to another, picks up by someone else, and you climb kind of the ladder like you do in corporate America. Yeah. And it was People magazine reached out a couple weeks ago to do a piece, and that was just released today. So very honored that they've taken the time to describe my journey and really tell the people my story.
Well, we're going to be doing the same thing today. So let's start at the beginning. You were born in Leiden in the Netherlands, and at the age of 6, you moved to a small village on the west coast of Canada to live with your aunt. That is a big move for a 6-year-old. What was that? What did it feel like?
Yeah, it was, it's an interesting time. You're really developing as a child at that point, and especially at 5, 6 years old, you're entering kindergarten, elementary school,
Yep.
you're making your first friends, you're developing the language. So it was a huge change. It was a big culture shock, first of all, to go from, all I had ever known of the Netherlands to then
Right.
move to, the opposite side of the world. So a big change, but, looking back at my life now, I'm glad it happened. If it hadn't happened, my life would have been completely different.
Well, and not to mention that, but you're living in Canada. I mean, it's one of these things where you are a born Netherland. And I think that you said in Canada, your fascination with the Dutch team, it only grew stronger. I mean, obviously you were away and following the team was your way of staying connected, probably a little bit to your youth, to who you were. But I just got to ask, what did I want to say it correctly and pronounce it correctly for everybody listening. It's not orange, guys. It is oranje, mean in Dutch kid growing up in Canada.
Yeah, a lot of this, it's a lot of people. The whole story stems back to the European Championship of 2000. It was a tournament we hosted. The Netherlands had a fantastic golden generation that started off with the 1995 Ajax team that made 2 Champions League finals, won the Champions League in 1995.
Right.
That team transitioned into the 1998 World Cup, was knocked out by Brazil on penalties. Many people say that the Dutch should have won that game and won the World Cup in '98.
I know the feeling. I know the feeling.
Yeah. So that 2000 tournament was at home. It was in Holland, and it was also in the summer of 2000. So a couple months before I ended up moving to Canada. So we go out on penalties. It was a heartbreaking. It was trauma. It was my first ever memory as a child.
Oh, wow.
I remember crying, not understanding what happened. If anybody's familiar with the match, it's probably the biggest encapsulation of a team ever, I would say, in sport. Not many people talk about it as much, but in the Netherlands, we think about 2010. What was more traumatic? Was it the 2010 final? A lot of people say it was the 2000 Euro semifinal at home in Amsterdam, 60,000 people in orange. Italy goes down to 10 men, 10 minutes in with Zambrata getting sent off. We get a penalty, saved. A couple more minutes go by, we get another penalty, hit the post. And Italy parks the bus, chance after post after miss, and finally it goes to penalties, and Italy wins on penalties and knocks us out of our own tournament. Anyway, the context for that is that was right before I ended up moving to Canada. So that was something I held on to. I had a little orange jersey that I wore to school every day in my first year in Canada. Keep in mind, I didn't speak any English. So I had to go to ESL, learn English. I also learned French as well at the same time because Canada's bilingual. So it would have been quite interesting to be around me in first grade or in kindergarten when, I must have had a really heavy accent. I have seen some videos.
You don't have one right now. I mean, I'm listening to you.
But
You sound American.
I do, yeah. But I have seen some videos of me at 6 years old, and I got a heavy Dutch accent. It's quite cute. But that's really where that stemmed from. It was this game that I really held on, and then through all the years, it was part of my DNA. That's really what it became.
Well, you just answered one of the questions I had for you today, which was there one moment, was there one time, and that's it. That was where the encapsulation created. Now, I have to bring this up because most people know you as the orange suit soccer guy, but you actually represented the Dutch national ice hockey team as a goaltender at the IIHF Under-18 World Championship. I mean, you're a hockey player. You're an athlete. I mean, were you pretty good?
Yeah, I mean, I played in Canada, so lots of competition. I played some junior hockey in Canada. I wasn't good enough to make the national team in Canada, but I had a Dutch passport, so I was called up by the Dutch national team to play in the U18 World Championship. So that was in 2012. That was a cool experience, and to be able to stand for your national anthem, wear your colors. We had orange. I had orange on my goalie gear, and I had the orange jersey. And it's a very cool experience to be in an official, FIFA or IHF type of tournament, regardless of what country you play for.
No, it's amazing. All right, let's jump to the suit. Walk me through the origin of the orange suit, because nobody just wakes up one day and says, hey, I'm going to go wear this to every match for the rest of my life. Where did the actual orange suit start?
Yeah, it was. It started off as a joke, as so many things start off in life. I have a good group of friends in Canada, and yeah, they know I like to dress up, and I have a lot of suits in my personal private wardrobe as well. So we were like, it's kind of funny. Let's try to source an orange suit. and wear that to the game and get it tailored, make it bespoke, get it custom made for you. And we'll see kind of the reaction we get. And almost instantaneously, the camera operators at these qualifier matches would just be panning over to me constantly. And yeah, that one thing led to the next. People started talking about it on Twitter or whatnot. And that's really what catapulted the whole thing. Yeah.
How many suits have you made that are bespoke? Because, by the way, I've got one right now that I'm wearing. Number one, they're not cheap. And number two, the original suit I put on, I was a 30 waist. Now I'm a 38. So the original suit I had has to be like on a 30-inch waist mannequin now at the Graduate Hotel in Knoxville, Tennessee, because that's the only place. That's the mannequin's the only one that could wear that original tux. But for you, how many suits have you gone through?
Well, this is the original jacket. So it's important to me to keep the same exact jacket because it tells a story. It's been covered in beer. It's been, pelted at. I mean, we played Argentina in that last World Cup, 90,000 of their fans. We had 100 of us in that stadium in Lucille. It's got patches on it. It tells a journey. So I keep the same jacket. I have gone through numerous pants. I do tend to rip them in our pregame festivities and our dancing. So, I do bring a couple backups with me for that. And same thing with the tie. But, talking about size, for me, I wear the same suit jacket and the same pant size. So if I know I'm eating a little too much, at least, every international break, I need to calm down or probably hit the gym a little bit more because it's getting a little tight in the suit. So
it's
that's how I
accountability
keep
metrics.
myself.
It's the best accountable metric. Although I'm not getting back down to 30 ways, so that tux it's gonna stay in the museum. Call it the museum display forever.
Right.
Qatar World Cup 2022. Every single match you were on television. I mean, every camera found you. What was the moment like when you realized the whole world was watching you and that suit?
Yeah, it was, I remember I had my phone in my breast pocket here and, the way the production works for FIFA is it's tied into the stadium. So you'll first see yourself on the big screen. That's why those people are always pointing when they see each other. And then like a second later, it hits the worldwide or, quicker than that. And then it was just buzz, 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 buzz in my pocket. And I mean, I had an uncle in Nigeria. I had a cousin in Holland. I had friends in Canada, a friend in Japan. Everybody had taken pictures of the screen, no matter where they were, in a bar in Nigeria or in a shopping mall in Tokyo. And it was just, it was just insane to see how connected the World Cup is in that moment that the whole world is watching. And pretty surreal experience.
Well, has there ever been a match? Because you've been doing this for so long now. Have you ever had a match where you almost didn't wear it?
Let me think here. The suit has always been worn. The glasses, I remember there was
pretty
one
darn cool, by the way. I mean, I might have to steal that idea. It's such
I know. I got plenty of them now with me, but I think there was one game in Amsterdam where, I don't know, I broke it or something happened, and I had to go to a local shop in Amsterdam and find a replacement glasses, and they were not the same look. And of course, I ended up being put on the Amsterdam Johan Cruyff Arena Instagram page. So that's kind of a cool, for anybody nerding out about that stuff, that's the one IMDb tidbit. One match, I didn't wear the exact same glasses. But other than that,
did they win or lose? I mean, what happened when you didn't wear the glasses?
There's a video. It's me celebrating, so I think we must have won. I don't know. I have to check what game it was, but I'm sure we did all right.
I love it. Well, that is the end of our first half. Don't go anywhere. The World Cup is happening right now on American soil, and we're going to go deep on Dutch fandom. The Orange Army and the famous Orange Bus. We'll be right back.
Study and play come together on a Windows 11 PC. And for a limited time, college students get the best of both worlds. Get the Unreal College Deal. Everything you need to study and play with select Windows 11 PCs. Eligible students get a year of Microsoft 365 Premium and a year of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with a custom color Xbox wireless controller. Learn more at windows.com/student offer. While supplies last. Ends June 30th. Terms at aka.ms/collegepc.
Marvel Television's Wonder Man, an 8-episode series, now streaming on Disney+.
A superhero remake, not exactly what we'd expect from an Oscar-winning director.
Action! Simon Williams, audition for Wonder Man.
I'm gonna need you to sign this, assuming you don't have superpowers.
I'll never work again if anyone found out.
My lips are sealed.
Marvel Television's Wonder Man. All 8 episodes now streaming, only on Disney+.
Tomorrow morning is knocking. Stock your fridge now. How about a creamy mocha frappuccino drink? Or a sweet vanilla? Smooth caramel, maybe? Or a white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Find Starbucks Frappuccino drinks wherever you buy your groceries.
Started as a kid with a team to believe in. Every win and loss left my heart still beating.
Welcome back. We're back with Daniel Oordt, the Oranje Suit Man, calling in from Texas, where he is right now with the Dutch national team. Daniel, paint the picture for us. Where exactly are you, and what does it look like, and what is the energy like being on the ground with the team right now?
It's amazing. We're in Dallas, Texas, downtown, just a few blocks from the fan festival. Today, got in late last night. Went to go check out my mural. We'll discuss that in a little bit. So,
wow. You got a, hold on. You've got a mural?
Yeah, I was just informed yesterday that there is a massive mural in downtown Dallas of Virgil, Van Dijk, Memphis, Depay, and me, us three.
Wow. That is, if you have a picture, we've got to be able to put that on superfandiaries.com. You got to send us a picture after the show so we can put that on your page. That's got to be up there. We got to share that with everybody.
It's very cool. So I went over there. This morning was on Good Morning Texas, the talk show. So I did that this morning, then headed over to the mural. So I've been busy, doing some media stuff, and but the Dutch fans are in town. Everybody's been calling me to see when we can meet up, and really tomorrow is when we're all going to get together early in the morning, and the festivities are really going to start building up.
But what time's the game tomorrow?
The game's on Sunday, so tomorrow we do a pre-party. We have a whole thing. We party the day before, during the day, and there's a Dutch restaurant that's going to be hosting a party as well. Then I'm going to be hosting an evening event here in Dallas, and that leads into the next day, which, if we're still alive by that point, we still eventually have to go watch a game.
I don't know how your liver can handle this. I'm just kind of blunt. With as much partying as you guys are doing for the World Cup, it's and you're clearly one of the ringleaders of it. So it's
no, well, I don't drink, so for me, I get through it on water. But
there you go.
It's the guys need to watch out. I tell everybody here that make sure you're drinking your water because it's hot. It's hot out here.
I'll tell you the way I've done that recently is I'll drink the water, but I'm starting to go after this idea of soda water with a lime. And then people think you're drinking, but you're not. You see the fake out up there, Daniel?
Well, you know what? It's for me, it's like it comes from the pure passion. That's the coolest thing about it is I'm already hyped up enough just being here in the first place. So it's it's nice. You just have whatever you want, and at least you wake up in the morning, good to go.
Oh my gosh, it's brilliant. All right, now let's go back to the professional side. You're based in Scottsdale, Arizona, and you work for a major commercial airline. You're a captain. You're a pilot. This has to be enormously helpful with the travel side of things. How does the piloting schedule and the match schedule actually coexist?
Yeah, so the way the airlines work, it's all seniority based. So when you are hired at the airline is the only thing that determines what airplane you fly. If you're a captain, if you're a co-pilot, what days you get off. It's all based on what day you were initially hired at the company. So the airline I work for, I've been there for about 5 years, but I'm a captain on a larger fleet. So my seniority as a captain is quite at the bottom just for being junior and younger. So I don't have too much control over, let's say, a senior pilot who would love, let's say he wanted to just go to Amsterdam and work the flight to Amsterdam. He could put in, hey, just give me those flights on Tuesday. And I can't do that. But I have decent control of, requesting days off. So when the Dutch national team schedule comes out, I look in advance, I look at the month because we bid per month. And those are the first days that will go out. So luckily for most of the European qualifying window, the games are generally played on a Tuesday and Thursday. So it's midweek. Okay. I'm not really fighting with other people to try to get those days off. So generally no problem. And then here with the World Cup, I have a week of vacation. I'm able to move days around. It's a super flexible job. So outside of the fact that, we can fly for free to go wherever we need to go, if I need the days off, I can make it happen.
Do other pilots, I'm just thinking about this while you're mentioning it. Did they ever help you out knowing that, hey, we got to help Daniel out? I understand. I want to bid on this. I want to get here, but let's let Daniel have that trip. I can wait another week to do it.
Yeah, no, I haven't had to ask anybody yet. I know the community is fantastic. So, there's plenty of friends and people that I would know that would be willing to move a lot of things around, if it benefited me. But, I've been able all these years to get it done the way I've been doing it so far, and it's gotten me here to Dallas right now. So we're okay right now.
And are you gonna be able to attend every Netherlands game throughout the whole World Cup? Because I assume the Netherlands are going to go far. So you're going to be going to a lot of games.
Yeah, I'll be back with you on July 19th in Times Square. So that's where we're going.
All right. Well, now you've been doing this since 2015, nearly 100 matches, every country. First off, for the world out there's 195 countries in the world. How many have you been to so far, and which one is your favorite to visit?
Oh gosh. Well, I mean, I've lost count of how many countries I've been to. I mean, just outside of my work and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many.
There's so many, and I don't keep track of that anymore. But I can tell you my favorite countries to travel to are the former Soviet states, the East Bloc countries.
Wow, former Soviet states. Okay.
Correct.
Okay. Estonia, that type.
Estonia, Lithuania. We were just in a qualifying match in Lithuania. I went to Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan was my first ever match with this cycle. Belarus, Ukraine, these types of countries. There's something about the people there. You know, they're not so absorbed with social media and phones, and you know, they live almost in a different world. It takes a lot of years to recover from socialism, right? So the way they still interact with one another and are super interested in your story. Like in Lithuania, I had people come up, oh, your story is amazing. We want to welcome you to our country. We'd love for you and your friends to come join us for coffee tomorrow at 9 a.m. You know, and these are things that would not happen anywhere else. So it's really cool. Really cool people to meet in those types of countries to see. It's almost a nice break from, you know, the constant media and everything that you absorb here in the United States, to go somewhere else and realize that people live a completely different way somewhere else.
Daniel, you're like the Dalai Lama for the Netherlands fans. I mean, like it's pretty amazing that people they're like, hey, come and have coffee with us. All right, you've traveled with the team. I'm assuming all the players know who you are. Have you had any moment with the squad, the staff, the coaches?
Yeah, tons actually. The hotel I stay at in our games in Rotterdam is also the team hotel when they play there. So I've been purposely booking there for years now. So I've gotten to know the staff at the hotel. So when the players exit the hotel, everybody's kicked out of the lobby except me. So I'm allowed to stand there and
my gosh, you gotta love that VIP. So it's like, I don't need you to pass. It's just me. I'm the man in the orange suit. Let me be.
Yeah, I remember one of my first times there when I met a bunch of the players. Gosh, this is a while ago, but I came down the elevator and I didn't really know the process of how the team exited the lobby or if they went through a side door. Yeah. And I just took the elevator down, and then the elevator stopped and in walked Virgil van Dijk, Cody Gakpo, Xavi Simons, and Memphis Depay as I'm standing there in my orange suit. So Memphis was, you know, he's like, nice suit.
By the way, I just love the name Memphis Depay. I mean, come on, world, for everybody listening. Memphis Depay, this sounds like a badass.
Yeah, Memphis is cool. And yeah, we took a picture, but I was so starstruck and startled that I forgot to take a picture with the other four, including Virgil van Dijk, our captain. So that was a funny situation. I remember that. But yeah, I mean, obviously after the games, the players come by, especially at our away games. We'll be with a smaller contingent. They'll come say hi. They'll thank us. So yeah, it's really developed into quite something over the years.
Well, what's it like being that close to the team, but always on the fan, even though you're an accepted fan and you're allowed to be on the other side of the line, the VIP line, but what's it like being that close to the team, but always on the fan side of the line? I mean, as you are, definition, the biggest Netherlands fan in the world.
Yeah, well, I believe winning a tournament like this World Cup here, it doesn't start, you know, it starts with grassroots efforts and boots on the ground. And if I can, you know, fire up a section of people in the crowd that just decides to cheer a little bit louder when Memphis Depay is taking a corner kick, and whatever happens there sparks Virgil van Dijk to just jump half an inch higher to hit that ball in, you know, that's how I look at these things. So, you know, they have their job to do, obviously, on the team, but we also have our job as supporters. And, you know, that's how I look at it. It's like, this is our contingent. We're going to do everything we can as best as possible. And we do an amazing job with the Federation and the Orange Bus and everything we do to get everybody in the mood. And that translates into the stadium. And when that stadium is loud and it's jumping, you know, if we can give the extra spark to the team to push them just over the edge, because that is the difference at this level in the World Cup. It is such thin margins that, you know, on a day, I always talk about that Argentina-Holland game. You know, we had 100 fans there due to a lot of the Dutch were boycotting because of the situation in Qatar. But the Argentinians showed up with 90,000. And that was what really swayed that match one side, you know, when...
Daniel, this is the part, we're going to jump to the bus next, but the one part you just raised right here is fandom in soccer. So, like, if you think about it, and I'm sure you've attended a lot of U.S. football or basketball games, there is no question the fandom at a basketball game or even at a home field SEC football match, they have an impact. I'm still curious about the impact in the NHL, right? Or in soccer. But you're telling me that there is that impact that gives that extra inch for Nigel or for Memphis, for these other people to play, that the screaming, it is enabling to help them play better. Kobe Bryant said it did in basketball, but I've always just been curious in soccer.
Oh, 100%, 100%. And in this example with the Argentina, when you have to go take penalty kicks on the Argentinian side with 30,000 of them going absolutely berserk and throwing stuff, and anybody can score a goal on a penalty when it's quiet on a pitch somewhere in a park. Right. But to be able to do it in that moment, you can really throw somebody off. And that's where that 12th man, the 12th man comes in for, you have that in the NFL, but you have that in football.
A&M's known for it. Yep.
Right, exactly. So you have that in, I'm going to say football before I get flack for calling it soccer again, but you have that in football as well. So I really believe in that. I really believe, and I've seen it now plenty enough times where you feel the emotional shift when the team, for example, if there's a stretch of 15 minutes where the other team has possession and it just goes flat, and it's like, come on, guys, and you start trying to get the chant going. We've got a couple supporters who love to chant. We get those guys going. We have the drums going, and it sways the whole momentum of the game and puts us back in charge. And I think we owe it to our country, almost as a soldier for your nation in that environment, to put yourself out on the line and get whatever you need to do over the line for the team there.
It's amazing. But that's such good, insight for everybody out there, because I know Americans were not obviously at the level of soccer. I mean, they did a poll yesterday that shockingly, it sounded like 30% of America are aware the World Cup is going on, whereas 70% don't. And it's just shocking to me how in the U.S., but I know I was at an event here in Nashville the other night and nobody even knew the World Cup had started. And it's fascinating how in America, how soccer, it's very what I'll call focused for like Kansas City, Seattle. They've really built upon this with their major league teams. And I think that it's a growing one, but I do think it all does start with the fandom and what you've built. But let's talk about the orange double-decker bus, because this thing is legendary. For folks who haven't seen it, describe, Daniel Forrest, what a game day actually looks like when the Dutch show up in this World Cup venue in a double-decker bus.
Yeah, so the bus itself was purchased in 2004 by a contingent of the bus community out of London. So if anybody's ever traveled to London and seen the old double-decker red buses driving around, this bus was actually from the former London Transit Authority, purchased from them, painted in orange. They cut a part of the roof off the back, so you have a balcony in the back. They've added a bunch of speakers on there. The inside's really cool. There's a keg in there, a little bar, seating.
You got to have a keg. And, you got to have a bus with a keg.
They've got to have a bus with a keg. And the initial concept of the bus was just to travel their contingent in 2004 from Amsterdam from Holland to Portugal, which is where the European Championship was that summer.
Yep.
And that finally led to people following the bus and developed more and more and more. And now the bus is being shipped everywhere. It was in Qatar. It went to Germany for the last European Championship. It went to Spain. We were in Spain, in Valencia, Spain, for the Nations League quarterfinals. It goes to certain friendly matches. And now it's here in the United States. So on a game day, the bus, the Federation and the bus work together. There will be a pre-party the night before. And this is anywhere in the world.
So the bus is going to be in Dallas right now, right?
The bus is on its way to Dallas right now. Yeah, it left Galveston, I believe, yesterday or the day before.
I mean, is there a tracking tool online to be able to watch where the bus is?
I know, that's a good idea. I think I'll bring that up someday, like kind of like a flight radar.
People will want to do it. I mean, if they're willing to follow Elon Musk and, Travis Kelce and them, they might as well, follow you.
I like this. I like this, JR. I'm going to bring this up. This is actually a very smart idea.
I added value today. It makes me happy.
Yeah, that's 100% true. So anyway, the bus will show up. It will park itself wherever it needs to be. Everybody organizes behind the bus, and then at a certain time, Henk van Beek, who is one of the leaders on the bus, he's got the big, he's kind of the MC for the event. He will start introducing himself, introducing everybody, and then the music will start, and the bus will start driving. And it will go from point A to point B, and it depends on the city. Valencia, we left the beach in Valencia, went straight to the front door of the stadium. In Belfast, Northern Ireland, we left the Christmas market straight to the front door of the stadium. So it depends on where we are. The police will shut down all the roads so people can't inadvertently cut through. and all for the bus. And, from time to time, the bus will stop for a certain famous dance that we do as well.
I've got to learn about this. Is called the Links Rechts. Did I say it right? Links Rechts?
Links naar rechts. Yeah, very close.
Links naar rechts. Links, left, right? So this is the march. Thousands of Dutch fans linking arms, bouncing left and right, singing in unison. This has gone viral at every major tournament. What does it feel like to be in the middle of all this?
Well, it can be quite dangerous. I have during the last European Championship, I actually sprained my ankle so bad. I had to be wheelchaired into the quarterfinal in Berlin in a wheelchair into the Olympia Stadium because I couldn't miss the game. I actually had to fly back to the US the next day to go get x-rays done on my ankle because I didn't have any health insurance in Europe. Obviously, there was no issue with the ankle, and I flew back to Europe the next day to be ready for the semifinal. So it can be dangerous if, it's a lot of people. It's practically a mosh pit moving from left to right. Somebody can step on you. But the concept of the song, it's written by an artist named Snolbollekus, and it's a real carnival type of song. And really, the song lyrics are just about destroying whatever is around you. Like we're gonna party so hard and sing so loud that the roof is gonna come off the house.
Yeah, sounds like
it just builds up, and you got to be in shape. They're usually around the third stanza. If you hadn't been hitting your cardio, you're gonna start feeling it, and especially if you've mixed in a couple of Red Bulls during the day. I've had times where I'm like, okay, like I can feel my heart really bouncing so hard. So you do need to be. That's why we mix in a little bit of cardio and some gym sessions here as well. So we're completely ready for Sunday.
I mean, it's fantastic in terms of that. It's also a weight loss management plan. So I think from there, you've got to go on. All right. So Dutch fans are known as friendly, loud, just as you said, welcoming. Clearly, they're athletic too. The Oranje, what makes Dutch fandom different from any other fan base in the world? And what can America expect from the Netherlands different than what they already see at SEC or NFL games?
Yeah, so I think there's two parts to this answer. We have a term in Dutch, it's called gezelligheid, gezellig. It's one of the few words that's not translatable to English. There is no word for it in English. The closest I could come is like the idea of coziness or togetherness, but that's not really what it defines either. But this gezelligheid concept, bringing people together, all being from one area, it's almost like your feelings and your intuitions merge with the people you're around, and everybody feels at a same baseline because everybody has an understanding for each other. That's something very cool, and why I do this and why I enjoy coming back all the time, even if it's a throwaway friendly somewhere that doesn't matter, just to be around that. A lot of times the party and the event, I remember in Malta, we had so much fun in Malta that the game was terrible. I think we won 2-0 or something. It was probably the worst Dutch national team performance I've seen since our loss in Bulgaria years ago. And, at one point, the people weren't even watching the game anymore. People were playing card games in the stands. And, it was just like the community there was hilarious. Obviously, we were going to beat Malta, so it wasn't a big deal. But it was really interesting to see that you could still have a great time. And it was such a terrible match to watch. Right. The other concept or idea of why it's so great to support the Netherlands is, it's almost romantic. It's the best national team, the best country to have never won the World Cup by no exception. That's done. 3 World Cup finals.
That's what it says. You've been to 3. I knew that number. Yeah. You're like the Buffalo Bills of the World Cup soccer league.
1974, when we should have won and just gave it away to the Germans. 1978, they were probably a little better than us, but, we hit a post in the last second and could have won it there. And then in 2010 again. So 3 finals, 3 losses. People support, you have the people who support the countries they're from. And you look at Brazil, you look at France, Germany, Argentina. These are massive countries with massive populations, right? So if they perform well, that's to be expected. If you look at the top 8 countries in the world, and you look at the Netherlands and look at the population compared to everybody else, you see that we are completely overperforming per our capita. And if we had the same population as these countries, we would be tons better. Because we've made 3 World Cup finals. We've been knocked out in the semifinals just as many times. So if everything had gone well, we would have had 6 stars on this beautiful crest, right? So that's one cool thing about it is you're supporting a team that nobody bandwagons the Netherlands, right? In this World Cup, you're going to have people going to buy Messi jerseys or Ronaldo jerseys or Spain jerseys.
All my son wants to do is like, Dad, for the love of God, please, can we go to one of those 2 games? Well, we've already seen Messi because he comes here for the Major League Soccer game, but we've never seen Ronaldo.
Right. So amazing players, amazing teams, nothing against them, but you're never going to see somebody say, I want to go buy a Memphis jersey and support the Netherlands. So the cool thing about that is you don't have any bandwagon fans. Everybody has a reason why they support the Netherlands, be it they're Dutch, they're from the Netherlands, their parents are from the Netherlands, they trace their lineage to the Netherlands, or they're coming from, for example, we have a huge supporters group in Indonesia because, we formerly colonized Indonesia. So we have you should see videos out of Jakarta, Indonesia when the Dutch play. They're on their little mopeds with the Dutch flags in orange. So that's what's so cool. It brings the whole country together, the whole kingdom together. But we're not here with a bunch of people who just decided to show up in the morning. We've all been through the trauma and the pain and it's generational trauma. It's been decades of near misses. And, if there's one team that deserves this World Cup, it's the Netherlands. You say, well, the World Cup is nobody deserves the World Cup. It's earned. Yeah, but you're eventually now getting into a little bit of territory. If we make a 4th World Cup final, at some point, something's got to give, right? So, that's where we are now.
Vegas odds would tell you that. But all right, it's now time for the Desert Fan Island. Are you ready, Daniel? You're stranded. Half football pitch, half orange double-decker bus. You're trapped. You're by yourself. You get to bring and get to watch one movie continuously on that Jumbotron, one musical artist, one food, one drink, one person. So let's start right now. What one movie are you going to have on reloop?
I'm going to have Up in the Air by George Clooney. I think it's a movie that really tells my life to a T.
I was getting ready to say, that's kind of a pretty, that's one of those, that is a unique film that definitely, it gets you. It gets you at the very end, especially. But I can, are you a member of that? Well, you're a captain. I was going to say, are you a member of the American Airlines concierge level? But no, you're the captain. You don't need to worry about it. You've already got
just as many miles. How about that?
No, absolutely. All right. One musical artist.
Oh gosh, see, this is always one that's interesting. I'm trying to think if there would be some Dutch music that I would. You know what? There used to be an artist named René Karst. He's Dutch. Okay. He passed away unfortunately last year, and he has a song called "Atje voor de Sfeer," and it was a song that it's a party song in the Netherlands. We'd always sing it before the games, and we still sing it all the time. And one of all my Canadian friends always would listen to it, had no idea what it meant, but it became this tune that we would play it all the time. So you know what? I would say René Karst, he comes back and he plays While I'm Stuck on This Island.
Perfect. One food,
if I'm stuck on the island. And, as much as I am a Dutch supporter, I have a thing for the German food, the German cuisine. Right. So, some bratwurst, some Nürnberger, some Frankfurter, some sauerkraut.
Stick to the bratwurst. That's perfect.
Yeah.
All right, one drink.
Well, I think we'll stick with water. You know what? We'll do the sparkling water. We'll do some of that.
We talked about it earlier.
Pellegrini. Yeah.
Now, you just said the movie Up in the Air. So one person, I hope, is not a married woman out there. But so you get to say one person, Daniel. Who's going to be that one person?
Who's stuck on the island with me? Oh, gosh. Well, I have this amazing friend. Oh, I have so many. I can't say one amazing friend because... oh, God, you're really putting me on the spot here.
I know, you get one. That's
you know what?
The portal gives it to you.
I was about to say there's one friend, but then I'm like, on second thought, he would probably annoy me pretty quick if I'm going to stuck it for eternity with him.
Now I kind of want to know his name, and that way he can watch the show be like, jackass.
Yeah, you know what? Ivan, my good friend Ivan, he lives in Monaco. He's actually been to Dutch national team games with me. He's just as crazy as I am, I guess, to a T, but he's a lot of fun to be around. So, if he can control himself a little bit, I think it will be a good time.
And here's why you and I are going to be okay, because you also get bonus question, one Dutch football legend to join you guys. Past, present, who is it?
My favorite player of all time is the former Barcelona and Ajax legend, Patrick Kluivert.
Can't beat it. Quick break, subscribe, leave us a review, go watch the Netherlands play, and we are coming right back with the buzzer beater.
Pay's checkout is offered by your banks and credit unions. So when you shop online at participating merchants, your cards appear in one place, ready to use and kept up to date. And the best part, your actual card number isn't shared when you check out, because boundaries are healthy, like no work emails after 6. One small step for boundaries, one big leap for checkout. Pays. It checks out. Activation required. See Pays.com to learn more. Terms and conditions apply.
This episode is brought to you by Perfect Bistro Cat Food. Cats, this ad is for you. Has your human ever called you picky, persnickety, choosy? If so, Perfect Bistro Cat Food is for you. With ingredients like wild-caught tuna and pasture-raised lamb, tantalizing textures, and delectable flavors that meet even the most discerning cat standards. You're not picky, you're just perfectionists. Perfect Bistro, mealtime perfection for every cat. Have your human visit perfectbistro.com.
Comcast is delivering extraordinary experiences in live sports. Through the incredible broadcast and storytelling from NBC, innovative and personalized viewing features on Xfinity and Peacock, and the country's most reliable Wi-Fi, viewers can enjoy every game-changing play faster and more seamlessly than ever. All on a network built to deliver unforgettable moments as close to live as possible. The ultimate experience for the American sports fan. Learn more at ComcastCorporation.com/sports.
Started as a kid with a team to believe in. Every win and loss left my heart still beating.
Daniel, you used a phrase that I have not been able to stop thinking about. You just said it earlier in the show, and it's about supporting the Netherlands. Generational trauma. All right, you've already explained this to everyone. This has been about 3 World Cups. This year may be the 4th. But is there any way to overcome this generational trauma, or is it really just a part of you all?
It's a part of us. It's a part of us. The only thing that could solve it is a win. And the only thing is, and
Not
it's
just
like
a win, a World Cup win.
A World Cup win. That's what I mean. Yeah. Anything short of that is like putting salt on the wound again, because you start believing as a Dutch supporter, right? The way the Dutch media works, and everybody's very negative right now, right? That's always what happens. We have this saying in Holland that we have 18 million coaches. So everybody has an opinion on the players, the formation we need to play. The coach needs to go. He's made this mistake. Then what will happen is we'll win our game on Sunday. We'll beat Japan. We'll beat them.
And by the way, Japan's pretty good. They've got one. My son educates me on this stuff.
We're going to beat Japan. Don't worry. And if you're betting on it, bet on it now, because I told you this. You can come back to this now. So we're going to beat Japan on Sunday. Then things are going to start really livening up. We're going to go through the group stage, win our games. Then we're going to be in the knockout phases. Now, all of a sudden, all the negative people are all on board. I mean, I've been here the whole time saying this was going to happen. Yep. But, we're going to go, and then we're going to start really believing. And something, we'll probably end up beating a big team like we've done in 2010, where we knocked out Brazil. Now we end up in a semifinal. And then, that's where it comes down to. Do we take that extra step, or do we put that salt back on the wound? And, the risk involved, because as soon as, if we lose another penalty shootout to somebody, it's that immediate shock. The tears start flowing, and it's that feeling, that helpless feeling in your soul, that empty feeling in your stomach. And, but you have to overcome that. That's really what it's become, what it's like being a Dutch supporter. There is only one option, and it's to win the World Cup final. And anything short of that is only going to exacerbate the feelings we already carry with ourselves.
Well, I'm with you. And it's now time for the buzzer beater. This is the rapid fire round. So I'm going to be asking you a quick question. Just answer whatever comes to your mind first. Are you ready for number 1?
Let's do it.
Greatest Dutch player of all time. No debate.
Johan Cruyff.
Best stadium atmosphere you have ever experienced.
Best stadium, Rotterdam, de Kuip.
All right. Links, de Rechts. Teach me how to do this in 3 seconds. What's the left hand? What is it?
Well, you're going to link up with each other.
Then all right, I'm going to bring the intern up here too. I need to have an intern, so that way we're going to get our intern in here. So we're going to do this. We're going to link in like this. How do we link in like this?
Yeah, just everybody on their shoulders. No, like on the shoulders.
Like this. Okay.
Yeah. And then you're going to start bouncing to the left. And then bouncing to the right. You got to carry.
Okay.
And then there'll be a drop. And once the drop comes, everybody releases each other, and you do whatever the hell you want. So you can you can go crazy. You can rip the blazer off. You can do whatever.
I love it. I love it. All right. See, look at that. That's why interns are great. Oh, this is good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Orange bus or orange suit? You can only keep one.
Orange bus. We do it for the team and the country. It's not an individual.
Great answer. Great answer. Biggest difference between American sports fans and European football fans?
Oh, this terrible chance that the Americans have. What is that? I believe we will win. Or what is that?
Yeah, it's we always have hope. It's a Tennessee fan. As soon as the season's over, we're like, hey, we can't wait for the beginning of next year because we're undefeated and we're going to win the title. Every year we feel that we're going to win the title. It's been, since 1998, since the University of Tennessee has been there. But
yeah.
We always feel.
I would love to see, I have some Serbian friends and they've taken me to some Serbian games, where people practically die going to those games. So it'd be nice to see a friendly between, maybe what's your team in Nashville? Nashville SC versus Partizan Belgrade. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, that would be very interesting. All right, most unexpected country where the Dutch fans completely took over.
Most unexpected country where the Dutch fans completely took over. Okay, give me a minute. I've got
this is kind of a little tricky question.
That's a tricky one. I can't.
Oh, I've got a good one for you next.
Okay, well, let me see. The most unexpected country we've completely taken over. I say Iceland would be one of them.
I love Iceland.
Northern Ireland was an interesting one too. That was an interesting one as well. Iceland. Where else have we been that's been interesting? Portugal. We played a friendly against Gibraltar, but their stadium was broken, so they had to go play us in Faro in Portugal. Oh, wow. So we flew down there, invaded Faro, Portugal, but the Portuguese had no idea what was going on because their team wasn't playing us, so they didn't know what was going on.
I love it.
That was an interesting one. Yeah.
Daniel, you've worn the orange suit to nearly 100 Dutch matches across the entire planet. I know you've done some crazy things at matches. Clearly, you've ripped your pants quite a bit. When you get to the pearly gates, what are you asking forgiveness for?
Maybe celebrating a little, sometimes I get really emotional and, I can celebrate, I can jump up and maybe trip over. Yeah, I've done that a few times where I've ended up maybe 3 or 4 rows from where I'm actually standing and maybe taken out everybody that was in front of me. So that would be something I would apologize for, but it was all done with good intention.
I love it. All right. Years from now, when people talk about the fans, such as yourself, who made international football, i.e. international soccer, feel alive in America during this World Cup, what do you hope they say about the Oranje Suit Man?
Yeah, well, he always looked sharp at the appearances. That was important.
Same suit jacket, always the same suit jacket.
His suit was always dry cleaned. His shoes were always polished. His tie was always done up. No, I think what's really cool about this is we had a super fan in the Netherlands, Winfried Witjes, who was known as the Oranje General, the Oranje Generaal, and I'm sure you've seen pictures of him. He used to wear a suit and a big general's hat, and unfortunately he passed away a few years ago. And I got to meet him in 2015, and I've almost taken it upon myself a little personally to be his successor in that regard. So, I would love to inspire the next generation and realize that this is so much fun to do this, to be passionate about something, to be happy about something. Life is short. We all have jobs. We all have to work. To have something that makes you truly happy, to be able to spread that with the world, the amount of people you meet, the communities you create, the connections you have doing this is the most rewarding thing. It takes a lot of time. The money is one thing, but the time I don't have or that I invest in this, I can't get back. And, if it ever didn't become fun, I would stop. It doesn't make me any less of a Dutch fan to be watching on television. Yeah. But, the experiences I have, the people I get to connect with, just like yourself today, or, what I get to do every day, that's what makes it so special. So, if anybody would look back, be like, what, that's something I want to do. So
I think it's great. All right. Tell where folks can get to know you better and where can they follow you while you're going to the World Cup?
Yeah, well, we're big on Instagram. The Instagram handle is Oranje Suit Man, but the G is replaced by the J because, of course, in Dutch we say Oranje. So Oranje Suit Man. And we do tons of day in the life stuff. If you want to experience what it's like to be in the march at the pregame, we do all of that live during the games. For those people attending the World Cup in the host cities, Dallas, Houston, Kansas City, or wherever else we're going, I always tend to organize after parties and pre parties outside of some of the official stuff. So we got a great 2 evenings planned here in Dallas So just take a look on the Instagram. We'll be in a Candle Room in Dallas tomorrow night and Sunday night after 10 o'clock. So if you're in the Dallas area, would love for you to come swing by and see what it's all about.
Wonderful. Daniel, you left the Netherlands at 6 years old, a kid in a Canadian village who barely spoke the language. And the thing that kept you connected, the thing that made you feel Dutch when everything around you wasn't, was a football team in Orange. And now, here you are, close to 100 matches later, orange suit on, standing in front of thousands of fans at the World Cup. You called it generational trauma. I call it the deepest kind of love. And right now, the World Cup is here on American soil, and somewhere out there, an orange double-decker bus is rolling through the streets, and Daniel Oordt is out front leading the march. And somewhere in Nashville, a guy in an orange tux is cheering you on. You got to go get him, Daniel. Go get him, Netherlands. This is the Superfan Diaries. I'm J.R. Green. Follow Daniel at Oranje. Oornd, remember, Oranje, Suit Man, across the social media, and find him at every Dutch World Cup match. Follow, review, and nominate your favorite Superfan at superfandiaries.com. And remember, if you make one person smile today, you've had a great day. Make them laugh, even better. Go get them.
A burst pipe, a dead water heater, the AC calling it quits. Who do you call? HomeServe is an easy way to handle unexpected home repairs with plans covering stuff basic homeowners insurance usually won't. Instead of scrambling for a contractor, you make one call to get the repair process started. Join the millions of customers who trust HomeServe right now. Go to homeserve.com/podcast for 50% less your first year. That's homeserve.com/podcast. Savings compared to renewal price. Void in Florida.
Are you one of those media strategy people clicking through slides, scrolling spreadsheets? Yes? Good. This is for you. Because on Spotify, there's an audience that's different, locked in, loyal, invested. They're called fans. Fans don't just listen to music, they feel seen by it, like it belongs to them. So when your brand shows up on Spotify, that's who you're talking to. And you're right next to artists like me, Lizzo. So, are you ready to talk to fans? Spotify advertising. You're among fans.